Welcome to another episode of Avant Tax-Free Income Planning. Today, Avant Tax Consulting Attorney Wynthia Cheatum is with us, and I would like to introduce Wynthia Cheatum. She is a specialized attorney in tax planning, estate planning, wills, trusts, and probates. Tax-free income planning is incomplete without estate planning. They go side by side. They are the two sides of the same coin. So I would be more than happy to introduce Attorney Wynthia Cheatum. Hi, Wynthia, how are you?
Fine.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for attending this session.
Thank you.
I wish it would be beneficial to our clients as well as our audience. We have been getting a lot of queries about how estate planning happens, and people don't know. In reality, when you talk about people are so scared of attorneys, I don't know why they are so scared of attorneys. Attorneys are considered very expensive. Does it sound like that something?
Yes, a lot of people are afraid to have attorneys because they think it's going to cost them a lot of money. But that's a misguided concept. Primarily, attorneys are here for you, and that what we do is we help you and we guide you pursuant to what the statutes and laws require, and it is a benefit to you to know what those statutes and laws require, and it will help you as well as your family members.
Correct. Thank you so much. I know I've been working with Wynthia for a long time. She's our estate planning attorney. She helps our clients, and understand that most of our clients, got their issues resolved through Attorney Wynthia. Today, Anthea, I would like to ask a couple of questions, which would be beneficial to our clients, in the sense that people don't have the understanding of how this tax system, how this, estate planning system, how this wills and probate system works in the United States. You're so, knowledgeable enough to, explain these things. So let me ask you the very first question. So what does a will mean? Many people don't understand the necessity of having a will, especially in a state like Texas. I heard it's a community state, Texas. What makes this difference, or what is the correlation between a will that is required in a community state like Texas?
Well, let me start first with Texas being a community property state. There are about 10 community property states in all of the United States, which means we're sort of a minority in terms of the laws regarding community property.
Okay.
Therefore, what you're interested in is knowing what is community property. Community property is the property that you acquire after marriage. In other words, marriage will change the type of property that you have. There are two types. One is called separate property, and the other is called community property. And that is the one that you acquire for all assets and property after you marry. Separate property is for all property that you own as a single person and prior to your marriage, where you have received it as a gift, or where you have inherited such property. And with regards to Texas being a community property state, it is very, very important that you obtain a will, because a will help direct where your separate proproperty goes and where your community property goes.
Great. Right, thank you. Thanks for that information. Oftentimes people come and ask me about just drafting a will, but I tell that, with our close working and style, and understand that will does not come by itself. Like I heard, like you've been doing 6 or 7 documents or 8 documents, which are going in tandem with the wills,
Yes.
What are they, or how does it work,
Well, the additional documents that you're referring to, when you're preparing a will, it's always very important to know one thing. It is a high likelihood that you're going to get sick before you pass away. So in order to manage your estate before you pass away, you want several other documents, such as a statutory durable power of attorney, a HIPAA authorization for your person that's going to be your medical power of attorney. You need a medical power of attorney, and you also need a what we call a do not resuscitate order, or
DNR,
yes, a DNR
and DNA
order for identifying what you want to do in the event you have some type of a terminal illness. And when we prepare a will, we will always prepare those associated documents
Correct.
with that will.
Okay. So I have been seeing that, you know, like oftentimes you draft two wills for a person who is married, husband and wife. Why do we need two wills separately drawn in the state of Texas?
Well, in the state of Texas, there used to be a time when one will was suitable for both husband and wife.
Okay.
However, in this modern time,
Yeah.
because wives now work,
Uh-huh.
and they have some of their own assets and they inherit some of their own assets.
Right.
It's just been much more beneficial to have the two separate wills for the husband and the wife, because we have something in Texas called undue influence.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes if the two are making a joint will together, there could be undue influence on one
Uh-huh.
party, either the husband or the wife.
Right. Absolutely right. Mhm. Yeah. So we need to have the two separate will drawn.
That's correct.
That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So one will which is partially drawn with the with the spouse favor may not be ratified or justified in the eyes of the law.
That is correct.
Correct. So what are the benefits of having a will in place?
All right. The benefits of having a will is that you have control over how your property is distributed after your death.
Correct.
You want that ability to identify what your property is. Some people may not even know what your property is, but if you identify it in a will,
Correct.
they're able to identify it, and it's able to pass in accordance to how you want it to pass.
Correct.
If you do not have a will, then
Right.
your property will be passed
Right.
pursuant to what we call the Texas intestate laws. And if you have relatives or property out of state, you may have to be abiding by a state law that you
Correct.
don't really know,
Correct.
and their intestate laws and requirements.
Correct.
So it's best to know how your property is going to be distributed and to whom it's going to be distributed.
Correct.
One more important factor is you have to know how your property is going to be distributed, because you have to know some things such as minor children cannot inherit property,
Correct.
and people who have incapacities and cannot understand wills
Yeah.
are not going to be able to inherit property.
Correct.
So it is beneficial to have a will and have an attorney guide you through
Correct.
how to just get your property distributed after your death.
Right. While you are sane, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So what happens? Somebody dies without a will.
If you die without a will, then your property passes, like I said, through intestate laws of Texas and any other state that
Correct.
where you may have property
Correct.
located, or any other country where you might
Correct.
have property
Correct.
located. So it is best to be able to guide the distribution of your property.
Correct.
It's also very important because
Right.
if you do not have a will, it is much more expensive
Okay.
to process that property, to change it from
Right.
your name prior to your death
Right.
to who it's supposed to go to after your death.
Correct.
It's much more expensive because not just in the state of Texas,
Correct.
you will have to spend a lot more money probating probating your
Yeah.
estate if you do not have a will.
I happen to have one incident where we had to probate, where a person died in the state without a will. So that was really a lengthy procedure, a lot of money, and you need to put some money there in the court to get, all these things back to the
Yes.
original heirs. So it was a lengthy process, I remember,
Yes. You have to do what's called a determination of heirship first,
Correct.
before any property can be distributed.
Correct.
And then someone has to apply to become the administrator of your estate.
Correct.
And having a will, you get to say
Correct.
who's going to be your executor of the estate.
Correct. Correct.
And that is a benefit to you because
Right.
you don't have to file two proceedings,
Right.
you only file one,
Right.
and you don't have to have attorney ad litem's appointed
Right.
for unknown heirs
Right.
regarding your estate.
Right. Let me ask you one question. What are the points that we consider while making a will? Some certain things to be considered well in advance, or what are the things people need to do, consider prior to making or prior to drafting a will?
Well, prior to drafting a will, you want to consider,
Yeah.
first of all, who you want to have as your executor
Okay.
or executrix. That's the female version of an executor.
Okay.
Having an executor, you get to think about and consider
Okay.
who qualifies to become that executor. The qualifications are, one, you cannot have had a felony in this state or any state in the United States. You cannot have committed a crime of moral turpitude.
Correct.
You cannot have been declared by any court of law to be incapacitated.
Oh, about bankruptcy? Bankruptcy?
Well, bankruptcy is a consideration, but that's not a statutory
Oh,
consideration.
Okay, good.
And you have to be someone who is suitable
Sure.
to serve as an administrator. The thing is, you get to decide who is going to be the executor, and you should know those qualifications before you decide to name them in your will.
Okay.
So it is important to consult an attorney to decide whether a person you want as an executor is properly qualified.
Right. I have people are often confused. I understand that. There's a big difference between wills and trust, right?
Yes, there is.
So how do you define like a will and trust, like a Medicaid trust? Especially, I hear that people are under the assumption that once something happens, Medicaid will take care of it, and through Medicaid they can have all the treatments done. But people don't know that Medicaid is a state-run program. The state decides the fate of that program, and anytime it can be denied to them. So why often people create Medicaid trust? To
Well,
yeah.
in order for me to go into what is a Medicaid trust, that's a whole hour's worth of information.
Understand. But they can safeguard the interest of common people. With a
That's-
Medicaid trust, they can give their assets and to their heirs without, Medicaid recovery, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Medicaid and is based upon
Right.
need,
Uh-huh.
and it's designed for those individuals who are not as wealthy as they should be or
Right.
can be,
Right.
and it is designed to assist people with medical needs
Correct.
only.
Correct.
The will, and the difference between what is a will and a trust, it deals with financial needs and property needs.
Property.
For instance, a will dictates information on how your property will transfer after death only.
Okay.
A trust can be used to both transfer property and manage property
Manage property.
during your lifetime.
Correct.
And a trust, different from a Medicaid trust, deals purely with property issues and estate planning issues,
correct.
whereas Medicaid trusts deal with medical issues
Correct.
for someone who is
Correct.
in need of social services through
Social.
the state of Texas.
Correct.
So if you're considering a will and or a trust,
Yeah, sure.
those are both very excellent estate planning tools
Correct.
for both you and your family,
Correct.
and they will provide for you and your family not to go through a lot of anguish and stress
Correct.
at the time of death. And
Correct.
as far as a trust is concerned, it's a management of your estate
Right.
prior to your death.
Great. Thank you, Wynthia. Thank you so much. It was really helpful for all of us. At the same time, I wish this would benefit our clients understand in detail about the necessity of having wills and trust in place. Especially at Awan Tax, we help with our clients to have the tax planning done with the help of this financial planning and estate planning. Wynthia is a very specialized, knowledgeable attorney in the state of Texas. She helps her clients, especially in Dallas and other cities. And if you have any question and concern, give us a call. We'll be right there to help you out. Thank you, Wynthia. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
for
joining
inviting
us.
me.
Right. Thank you.